Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Hello and welcome to our countdown of the best expansions for Brook City. If you're watching this, you're probably either thinking about buying Brook City or you're a fan of Brook City. Brook City is one of my favorite games, probably top 10 games of all time. Absolutely love the parodies, I love the gameplay, I love the different decks, how they all interact. And I played other games from the Sadler Brothers that kind of use this deck, No Sanctuary being one of my favorites, but I think Brook City is my favorite, although No Sanctuary is right up there. But it is one of my favorite ones, and I've played through all of the expansions multiple times, and now I'm here to count down the best expansions for Brook City. I'll give you a little in-depth analysis of why I like it, and you can make your own decisions, and please comment below. Let me know what you think and what you like. Number 5, and out of the 5 expansions, is Velocity. Velocity is the small box expansion that is really Speed. If you like the movie Speed, I think you're going to like this more, and it will go up for you. Speed was an okay movie for me, and I like that the different mechanisms are here, but they are different. There's a bus speeding around, and you have to get to this fast and be very, very focused on it, I feel like, in order to control where the bus is going. And you're only going to have so many things you can activate to get through with it. And if you kind of miss one or two, you're probably not going to beat this one. And a lot of times you win this one by the skin of your teeth. Now, when I'm saying this is probably my least favorite expansion for Brook City, I'm talking about something I really do like. The character of Chase didn't appeal to me as much. I kind of feel like I wish it would have been a little bit more of like a Keanu Reeves thing here, but I see what they were going for here. It's just not one of my favorite ones. The bus mini is not the same size. You know, it's not bigger than the cars per se, but I understand why, because it needed to fit on the board. But I like a lot that comes with this. It's just probably my least favorite. One, I found the rules would be lacking a little bit. The first time I played it incorrectly, and I had to go back and kind of read it a little bit closer and go online a little bit and get some help. And then everything kind of worked and kind of flowed for me. But this one may be the one that you probably need to play one time through and go, okay, I think I see how this works now. And then you'll be a little bit stronger at it. So very fun for me, Velocity, but probably my least favorite of the bunch. Number 4 is Keys to the Kingdom. Now this is one I kind of like, 'cause I like those Hong Kong type of action movies and cop movies they have. And this is one I was kind of really excited about, and it's okay. So I do like the villain that comes with it. I think he's a little bit on the easier side, which is great for playing with new players. He can be very good. The case kind of has you moving around the board an awful lot. So it requires a lot of movement, and I think you're going to need characters that move around a lot and kind of know what you're getting into. Otherwise, it can be very difficult to kind of move around the board. The cop that comes with it is more of a secondary or an assisting type of partner, which is great. You need that in a group, but who wants to be the healer all the time, right? Maybe somebody does, but for the most part, you want to be the one doing the action, and I feel like she is an assister more of that. It's going to come down to that a little bit. So the villain I like quite a bit, actually, especially playing with new people, which I tend to do a lot with games. It's when I can utilize a whole bunch. I do like what's going on with the case. I do like the movement that's required. It's just hard, which I guess kind of balances the villain a little bit. The main character didn't appeal to me as much. It does come with some new vehicles, which I felt like weren't as strong as the ones that came with the core box. So I don't know why you would upgrade those, although whenever I play with her, I like to use her cop car. Just kind of a thematic little touch that I like. So this one could have been my worst one, and Velocity could have moved up a little bit. But I think because the rules were a little bit sketchy with Velocity, and I think the more you like Speed, where this is more of like a traditional cop thing that's going on, it feels right, and that's what you're going to have with Keys to the Kingdom. My third favorite expansion is Delta Keys. Now, this one I do like. I do like the two cops that come with this, and they seem to work very well as a tandem. And it seems like the more that you use them together, probably the more that you're going to like them. They have cool aspects. You're going to laugh at me. They remind me of Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, about how, one is the button up and the other one's a little more like go, which I know has been done. Chip, obviously that was from like Lethal Weapon and stuff like that. And I think it's a really cool aspect, so I like them quite a bit. As for the Delta Key, you do 2 cases with this, which is cool, which brings it up to me a little bit. I don't really care for the whole extra little board that you get. I feel like it's just too much to manage, especially with 2-player. The more players, perhaps you can kind of run around a little bit more, but it's just something else with the sabotage. It didn't really appeal to me. I think the rule's a little wonky with getting on and off of it. You can't get on and off as much as you would like. And then the vehicles you get don't have miniatures with them. Instead, they just kind of transport you back and forth. It's okay. The cases I felt like were okay. They were fun. I had a great time with it. And you do get 2 cases with this one, which was kind of neat. And you do get the button-up bad guy, which I liked quite a bit. And the cops are really strong. So it's very, it's definitely elevated over Keys of the Kingdom and elevated over Velocity. But I wanted a little bit more from that extra board. I wanted a little bit more from what was going on over there. And a lot of times I would just punt it and take the negative consequences, and they are what they are, just because I didn't have time to get over there. I didn't have time to manage it. The game is already pretty balanced the way it is. And I just felt like having this whole other thing to manage was just more actions I didn't really have in the game. Now, as for the cops, I think they work really well with this expansion. Maybe less so outside of the expansion. It's probably my own personal preference, and everybody can have their own things, but they're very good. But these 2 guys do work well together, and you do want them as a team, though you can definitely split them up, don't get me wrong. So Delta Keys is right there in the middle. It's the big box expansion. So this is one that maybe had more hype to it. More people probably picked up. They were like, if I'm going to get something, I'm going to get the big box. And that's kind of where you stand with this one. It could have went up a little bit to number 2, but I felt like the negativity from that additional board kind of held it back a little bit. And the price is probably a little bit more for this. So this might be something that you want to get right there in the middle. But it does come with a lot of content. 2 cops, you get a bad guy, you get 2 cases, you get the additional board, some more vehicle cards. There's quite a bit in here, but there's some expansions that I like just a little bit more. My second favorite expansion, which might be a little bit of a cheat, so if you think it is, take this out and put everything else in, but it is separate, are the stretch goals for the Kickstarter. This comes in its own separate box as if it's an expansion, and you're going to get a case with it, you're going to get some new vehicles, and you're going to get 2 new cops. One of them is one of my favorite ones off of Fargo, the cop from Fargo, which is really, really cool. I do like this case quite a bit. I found it very fun, very replayable, and I felt like it was a lot to kind of jump in and go through. Also, the cost is probably going to be a little bit less than what you would get with the Delta Keys, because it's just a little bit bigger of a box. Now, if you're wanting bang for your buck, probably that Delta Keys would be above this because you're just getting a little bit more. The extra board, the sabotage mechanism, you're getting 2 cops, the villain, and 2 cases, where this one's a little bit smaller box. But I do like what you get in this, and I do like these cops quite a bit. I like adding them in quite a bit, and they just kind of appeal to me a little bit more than what you get in the Delta Keys, which is, I think, is held back by that sabotage board just a little bit for my 2 things. It feels just like extra without really needing to be there. Well, this is like just all the good stuff kind of in. Smaller box with theoretically a smaller price that you're going to pay for it. And I really like these cops. These cops are kind of my favorite ones to play as. I like this a lot, so it's right there, up there as the number 2 expansion for Brook City. My number 1 expansion for Brook City by far is the 6th cycle. This one was really cool, and it reminded me of the movie 7, okay? And it really kind of got you in, and it has a branching path in it that is really cool. And you kind of choose that branching path before the game starts. You don't do A or B, which kind of gives you a different storyline as you're going through. A few subtle differences are going to happen, ones that I liked. And the ending of this has like, whoa, punch in the gut ending. One of them has a little bit more of a punch. It would be story A. And it's not a spoiler. You don't know what it is. But I was like, oh, man, what just happened here? It's really, really cool. And I like the idea of chasing that serial killer and people being kidnapped and abducted. And it was just a really, really cool experience. I had a lot of fun with this. The cop that comes with this one is one of, if not my favorite cop to play as. He is a blast to go through. The case had branching parts. The story was captivating. I was like really into the story despite it just being a few cards. And I felt like I was more into this one than I was some of the other ones. I felt like more of a parody. This one felt a little bit more real to me and felt kind of cool. And I liked what I was doing in it. And it was just fun to kind of track down that killer. And then that ending, whoa, that ending was super cool that I really, really enjoyed. So by a long shot for me, if you're going to get one expansion, don't be tricked by the big box of Delta Keys. Check out 6th Cycle. This was the best one to me and the one I had the best blast with. And if somebody's going to play one game with me, I'm bringing out 6th Cycle and saying, this is the case that you want to play. This is what the game really shines, and this one you're really, really going to like. So that's my countdown of top 5 expansions, the only 5 expansions released for Brook City. Curious to know what you guys think. Comment below. Let me know what you think about these expansions and how they work for you, and which one did you like? Which one... if you like Speed, that's one of your favorite movies, you're probably going to like Velocity more. If you like 7 and this kind of scary whodunit type stuff, you're probably going to like 6th Cycle like I did more. So, tell me what you like, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.